Alright, another editing feature or change you want to be able to make. If you notice, this text right here, that our services text, wasn't in that edit content pane to edit. That's actually part of the module. So if I go into manage and go to the settings, that's going to allow me to make some changes. This first tab is module settings, and that is where the title of the module resides. And if I go in there and edit that to, say I just want to take out hour and just put services, put that in there. If I click update, you will see that that changes that that text. We look back at the settings again. You can add this module to other pages in the site. You can display on all the pages in the site. You can add header and footer information. Typically header and footer is coding. You may have some code you need to add into a header or a footer. That's where you would put that. This is neat. You can actually put a start date and an end date on some of your content. So if you had some kind of a promo that you wanted to end on a particular day or start, a week from now, you could set those in and have the content appear and disappear when you want it to be on the site. The permissions, that's where you set who can see it. If I turn this off, you can see this a little better. Viewing the module, do I want it to be able to be seen on the website live? If I do, I want to click this for all users, that all users would see that content. That's typically the setting you're going to set. If you had other users and you wanted to only allow registered users on the site, people who log in to see particular content, you could set that there. Also, if you had other content managers, you could allow or disallow the editing of this module by clicking in one of these. Page settings here, this is where you're going to change a couple things that can be pretty important. This collapse and expand setting here, DotNetNuke allows the user to the site to be able to expand and collapse the modules. That's their default to allow that. I typically turn that off by clicking none, because I don't like people changing the way the page looks so much. So if I click none on that, it takes away the little icon that allows somebody to make that change on the site. Display container. A container, if you understand what a skin is, a container is the same thing for a module. So a container is the design aspect of that module. So on the module that we're using, that services text, how big it is, what color it is, what font it is, and also that red rule that was next to it, that's all built into the container. And that container is listed right here. So if I wanted to change that container, I could go in here and it's giving me a list of the containers that are in there. And let's say, since it was red, I want to change it to a blue rule next to it. I can go down and update, and you can see that it changed that to blue. You may have a number of different containers to choose from. Some of them will fill in the whole background with a light color. They might have a rounded corner box around them. All different types of containers can be designed. Let's go back to the settings. You can align the module, left, center, or right. You can add a border. You can allow print. And what that does is it puts a little print icon in the upper right side of the module where somebody can just print the content from that module. I usually keep that one turned off too. I figure if somebody's going to want to print the page, they'll print the entire page. Allow syndicate and is a web slice. Those are things that you really don't need to worry about for basic content editing. And then HTML module settings. This again is another area that you really don't need to do for your basic content editing. This is where you set up workflow of who can approve and disapprove updates and when they get published and those kind of things. So that's basic content editing. One thing that I want to go over on editing content is adding things that may not already be there. We added an image that was already uploaded into the server, but a nice thing about DotNetNuke is that it really makes it easy for you to upload from your computer images that you want to place in. So what you want to do to start is go to where you're going to add the image, and you want to make sure that you've opened up the images folder so that the image is placed in the right place. Then you click this upload button, and if you click select, it's going to open up the file menu on your computer, and it's going to allow you to navigate your computer to find an image and then upload it. So once you choose one, I didn't choose one, but it would be listed here, and then you choose upload, it's going to then upload it, and then you would see it within this listing. One thing about adding images to a website is you want to do the best you can to make sure that the image size is the proper size for the website. A lot of times you'll take a digital photo and it could be thousands of pixels wide by thousands of pixels high, and that's really way too big for a website. And even though on the web page you can change the display size, it does not change the file size. So if that's a 1 meg or a 2 meg image, it's really going to slow down how quickly your site loads. So for efficiency, for good layout, you really want to predetermine what size, how many pixels wide, how many pixels high you want that image, and get those things right in that image using Photoshop or Paint or some graphics program before you upload it into the site. Another thing we often have people desire to do on their own is add a PDF, a link to a PDF. So if I just add some text that I want to add, what I do is highlight that text, and then I'm going to go over here. Now these two here are the link icons. So if I go to the hyperlink manager, it's going to allow me to make that text that I highlighted a link. I can make it link to a page on my site. If I go to page, it's giving me a list of all the pages in my site. So if I wanted it to link to the About Us page, I would just click that. It allows me to type in a URL if I wanted it to link to somebody else's website. Just don't forget the http:// when you add one in there. And right here is where I can make it a link to a document. Typically, if I'm going to have a lot of PDFs on a site, I'll make a separate a new folder called PDF. But for now, let's just show with a regular graphic. In that folder, you would see your list of PDFs, and if you just click on it and hit Insert, it's going to put the URL for that document in there, and that's going to make that a link to that document. I'll cancel out of that and hit cancel. Basically, that's the quick overview of DotNetNuke for some very simple content changes and updates. Good luck using DotNetNuke. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.